So I did something that I did not foresee me ever having done. And that would be that I joined Angel Studios. If you didn't know, it's $12 if you want ads. It's like 20, I think, per month. If you don't want to experience ads, it's a little bit too much for me. But I've enjoyed the experience of having it so far. But here's where it began. It started with the fact that the content being produced, especially on Netflix and Disney Plus, which are the two that we have that we watch the most. We also have Prime. We've got a couple other system subscriptions that we utilize. And I was hesitant to add another one. On the one hand, because of the fact that we really don't have enough time. We're already maxed out. We're spread pretty thin. But beyond that, I just didn't want to add another thing, like something that people have been complaining about for years now, of all these different streaming services that are out there and the content being produced on them that isn't transferable, and just how it's just like cable, essentially. And I wasn't willing to go there. But I added this one, and actually we're leaning almost substitutionally of that the ones that we have we're thinking about getting rid of. On the one hand, because this stuff is good. There's some nature documentaries on Angel Studios that are very watchable, they're enjoyable narratively, and that they're actually more worshipful. They're openly Christian. There are these asides that the host will do where he's actually describing the way that different traits and different aspects of these animals, different features they have, are reflective of God's creative nature. It's really interesting and fascinating. But beyond that, there's actually really good children's programming on here that, like, for one example, the Wing Feather Saga has an adaptation on Angel Studios, and it's got this really nice kind of watercolor animation style that is really visually interesting and very distinctive from anything that I've seen before on a lot of these other platforms. And so just my daughter is just fixated when she's watching it, and it's wholesome, and just the different feature films that are on this thing, they're inspirational. They wrestle with some really heavy subjects occasionally, and they're a little bit more rugged than I would have expected from this specific service. But I haven't seen anything yet on there that I haven't enjoyed pretty significantly. But a lot of this really comes down to the fact that I was fed up with the sexual content being pipelined through especially Netflix and Disney Plus. Because Disney Plus I thought would be great. You got kids like animation stuff like Disney, House of Mouse and all that. But the reality was that you'd have to go through some of the most ridiculous things that are at top upfront banners, that there's no way to filter it out. There's no way to eliminate it. There's no way to cut those things out. And that they'll show you whatever they feel like showing you, and stuff that just a child should not see. I even took a shot of one thing that was appearing on my screens that it's just inappropriate. There's only one word. I could use far more aggressive language than that, but that's the best one. It's inappropriate, and it was on for several days, 3 or 4 days, while they were trying to market this thing, and had to wade through it all of those days just to get to something that my child wants to watch. And that's not okay. And considering the amount of money that exists behind these companies, that they have the ability to update, to increase the userability of their services so that stuff like that can be filtered out. They do have that ability to invest in that. They're choosing not to. And we have to be suspicious, I think, of their motives for choosing not to. And so I just wanted to share this thing saying, this is a choice that I've made. I would recommend it to any Christian out there, because I think that we're moving into the realm of a position that we probably can't support some of these companies anymore. And I'm not a boycott guy. I'm not that. But I think we are moving into the territory of saying that we can't to continue to support some of these companies that are producing this kind of content and then intentionally choosing to put it in front of children's eyes. And just the stuff as well, I mean, that they're depicting children in sexual circumstances that children should not be in. Even, yeah, they're adults, whatever. Depicting it is weird and gross. The fantasy that is involved is weird and gross and should not be entertained. Just shouldn't. That's just a true moral statement. And so the reality of what I'm telling you is that serious decisions have to be made, and like, it's practical in the same sense of that we just weren't finding anything on Netflix that was worth watching, and that I want a safe environment for my children to grow up in. And the free, convenient access to Pixar and the Marvel MCU that Disney Plus provided was one thing, but this extra immoral, corruptive baggage that comes along with it, I'm not interested. And so we haven't completely severed those other ties yet, but I think that's coming probably soon.